Hi Gemini, welcome to your love reading for November 2025. I hope you're doing well. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, Gemini, let's see what's coming through for you this month. So we have the Empress, the Four of Swords, the Lovers, Five of Coins, King of Swords, Four of Cups. We also have Eight of Cups, Five of Wands, Four of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. So, the main energy around your love life is the Ace of Swords. So to me, the Ace of Swords represents honesty and truth. It sometimes also represents a new way of thinking. Sometimes it means that you have to adjust the way that you're thinking, or there is some type of like breakthrough, mental clarity, aha moment. Like you finally put the pieces together and you finally understand your situation, or there's something that is revealed to you. So we'll see how that ties in to the cards that I have pulled for you. Let's take it one card at a time. Okay, so the first card that I pulled for you is the Empress. So you start off with a major arcana, and probably one of the most positive ones, because this card represents happiness, marriage, children, abundance, and it represents having it all. So I feel like, you know, since this is the first card, and I do see some, you know, quite a few challenges going on in this reading already, I feel like this main message is kind of telling you that you don't have to settle. You don't have to settle for anything during the month of November or ever. I feel like this is kind of telling that you can have whatever it is that you want. We'll see how this ties in with the rest of the reading, but this is just kind of, you know, marriage, children, happiness, and having everything that you want where you don't have to settle. Okay, so, you know, looking at the reading like this, I mean, two major arcanas. Whenever I see two major arcanas with a minor in the middle, I feel like the minor is a little bit more important. I feel like these are kind of like emphasizing what's going on in the middle. So I needed to say that before I show you the next card, and it is the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, it generally means like, you know, somebody needs some time alone, some space. You need time to kind of collect your thoughts. It doesn't necessarily mean that somebody's going to be, you know, breaking up with you or moving out, but it does mean that somebody kind of like needs some time to figure things out. Remember that the main energy around you is the Ace of Swords, which represents clarity and truth. And I feel like something's going on here where somebody is confused, or somebody needs some space. So it could either be you or it could be your partner. Now, for those who are single, I kind of feel like what might be revealed to you is that you needed some time to find yourself. You needed some time on your own before you find this relationship that I see here and here. Because like I said, both of these majors are emphasizing what is in the middle. And that is kind of time on your own and kind of processing your thoughts, recharging or healing. But you have, you know, the most positive card to get in a love reading. You have the Lovers. So this card represents to me a significant relationship. This represents not just a casual date. It represents your life partner, your twin flame, somebody that you commit to for many years or that you marry. Seeing this with the other cards, especially with the Four of Swords, what's being emphasized is that there is obviously a very kind of fulfilling relationship. It's everything that you want, where you're not settling. This could be your life partner, your twin flame, but something's going on right here in the middle. It's like somebody needs some space, somebody needs some time, and it could be that somebody needs some time in order to see the truth. So don't be surprised if, somebody tells you that they're confused, or that maybe they tell you they don't know how they feel about you. I see something solid here, but I feel like somebody may not see it that way. Somebody may need some time to actually put the pieces together and realize that they do love you, or they do want to be with you, or they do want to get back together with you. So I feel like this is really positive, but I feel like this energy of like, I need some space, I need some time to think, I feel like it could throw you off. And I do see some unhappiness going on over here, but I feel like any space that you give another person, or maybe you're the one that needs, time to think about a relationship. It could be more than one partner that is in your life in November. I feel like taking the time to really kind of make a decision and choose is the best way. Because this energy of like, needing some time is literally surrounded by a solid relationship. So, and also for those who are single, I feel like any time, that you spend on your own, especially if you just got out of, a really kind of long or, abusive or negative or unhealthy relationship, I feel like being on your own is going to give you what you need in order to see the truth, where maybe you should be looking for your next partner, or what you should be looking for. But also for singles, a significant and committed relationship is around you, but you need, for those who are single, I feel like you need time to heal. The Four of Swords represents kind of healing. It could be someone that you've not forgiven. It could be that you're not seeing that with the Ace of Swords. Like you need time to really kind of see, there could be a lack of clarity as far as like, why you are on your own. So kind of different messages there. Okay, so the next card that you have is the Five of Coins. So this is a card of kind of being in the dark, of feeling left out, not feeling included. You feel like you don't really belong. Since this is a love reading, you feel like your partner is shutting you out. You feel like they're not including you. You feel like they're not connecting with you. You're just kind of feeling like emotionally distressed. And I feel like this is pretty significant, with the Four of Swords. So it could very much be you that is, kind of needing some space, because you're feeling something is off with your partner. You're feeling like something is off. But this gives us a little bit more insight. You have the King of Swords, and it could be, that for some of you, this could represent you because you're an air sign, but to me, the King of Swords is very similar to the Ace of Swords. This card represents truth, honesty. It also represents using your mind wisely. It represents kind of being objective. So obviously something's going on here where you may not, be very objective when it comes to your love life, because you might feel that something's changed with your partner. I mean, especially like looking at what's going on right here in these two cards, the Five of Coins, the Four of Cups. Like I said, this is an energy of like feeling like left out, disconnected, in the dark. And this is an energy of being unhappy. But this is right in the middle of it. So it's telling you to use your mind wisely. So your mind kind of, you're very, obviously you're an air sign, you're a very kind of mental person. So your brain's constantly like ticking away, ticking away. I don't know. I even kind of feel like those who are in relationships, you might be under like a false illusion. You might be thinking something about your partner that is not accurate or not true. And it could be that there's some distance, but it could be for another reason. That's why we have the Ace of Swords as a main energy, like see the truth of what's going on in your relationship. The King of Swords is just saying, really think things through carefully. Be objective. Don't get too lost in your emotions, because you do have this energy here that's very emotional. You have the Four of Cups, which, is an energy of feeling unhappy. It's an energy of feeling unfulfilled. So again, this very much resonates with this message over here, the Five of Coins, where you just kind of feel like, disconnected, and you feel like something has changed and you feel left out. And this is kind of creating the sense of boredom and just kind of, wanting to withdraw into yourself and perhaps, disconnect more from your partner or even from people around you. But they're asking you to, with this card in the middle, this changes everything. The King of Swords is telling you to be objective about what you're feeling here. So I really feel like for those who are in a relationship, like something that you feel is off may not be what you think. And like I said, it could be that your partner is asking for some time to think, give me some space, or I need time to think about our future. You might really kind of take this the wrong way. Again, see the truth of what's going on in your situation. I feel like you need to be really objective in November. You can kind of, I feel like you can feel like everything is just, everything was for nothing. But that's not the message I'm getting from this reading. Now, for those who are single, the same energy, the Five of Coins, you might be feeling, especially for those of you that have just come out of not a very healthy relationship, you might feel like everyone that you meet is not a good fit. That's the energy of the Five of Coins. You don't feel that sense of belonging. You feel kind of odd with everyone that you meet, like this is not the person for me, or we don't quite, have anything in common. Again, I feel like they're asking you to be objective. Because for those who are single, it could be that you meet someone, it could even be another air sign, where the person is not your type. It could be someone very different from the person, the people that you usually date, or someone, I'm hearing someone that you envision. So you might have an ideal of like what you want in a partner, but I feel like you're kind of, those who are single, it's like the wheel's turning for you. I feel like you're kind of changing course when it comes to partners, those who are single. And I feel like there could be someone that comes into the picture after you've had time to heal, but they may not be like what you expect or who you expect, someone different. So be objective. There's still this energy of like feeling unhappy. So I feel like those who are single, like keep an open mind, because if you have an ideal as far as like this is what I want in a person, I feel like November can be frustrating for you. Like you just might feel like throwing in the towel. Just you might be bored on every single date that you go. But I feel like those who are single, there's someone that you meet is very different than anyone you've ever dated or anyone you ever pictured yourself with. Okay, so moving on to the bottom row, you have the Eight of Cups. So notice how this emotional energy continues. We just had the Four of Cups here. And then the Eight of Cups shows up. This is a card of, kind of having a change of heart. And because, something no longer makes you happy. So we have that message 2 times. Something no longer makes you happy and you feel like you need to walk away. You need to leave. Yeah, there is a strong, crystal clear message in this reading that something is going on for those who are already in a relationship. Look what's right next to this card. You have the Five of Wands. This is kind of telling you that there could be misunderstandings or kind of bickering. You may not be getting along with your partner, which we already got from the Five of Coins, and I kind of felt that energy in the Four of Swords, and they're here. So somebody might kind of feel like I need out of this relationship. And for some of you, it's hard to tell because this is only a general reading. You might feel like, yeah, I need to just walk away from this relationship because the conflict here is just like way too much. But that's not what I see in this card over here. You end with such a positive card, the Four of Wands. This is a card of marriage. This is a card of the home, stability, having a firm foundation. It very much reminds me of the card you started off with over here. You have the Empress. And so you have these, really positive cards of marriage This is a marriage card, marriage card, marriage card. So, you know, I feel like for some of you, again, hard to tell because it's only a general reading, there is some type of misunderstanding, or you're coming into the month with this energy, or, you know, maybe something happened before where you just, you know, you're under a false illusion. I just keep getting that, like there's some type of misunderstanding with your partner. But I feel like the truth will be revealed to you as long as you are, you know, objective. You're not getting too caught up in your emotions. Because like I said, the Four of Cups and the Eight of Cups is just like someone's feeling really unhappy and they want out. They feel like this is just getting too uncomfortable and it's not bringing you any happiness. But the Four of Wands is telling me that there's still a relationship here. That's why I felt, you know, ironically, the Four of Wands and the Four of Swords over here at the top, kind of indicating there could be some distance between you and your partner. But I mean, you start and you end the reading with such a positive message. I feel like whatever it is worked out. And I got that message, you know, at the beginning of the reading. So for those who are single, you know, that same message applies to you. The Eight of Cups, you might kind of feel like, boy, everybody that I date is just like not what I was looking for, not what I was hoping for. And you might kind of feel like just throwing in the towel and not pursuing anyone anymore, just kind of like completely like, you know, giving up dating for now. And I feel like there could be some conflict within you. I feel like the Five of Wands, this could represent for you an inner conflict. Like you feel like throwing in the towel, at the same time you feel like, no, but you know, I've already healed and I would really like, you know, someone in my life. I feel like there will be some type of internal struggle for those who are single, like you go back and forth with, yes, I want to look, but then no, I'd rather not. Either way, I mean, here is a relationship for you. But again, I keep getting that message for those who are single that it's not the person you think it is, and it's not the type of person that you are looking for. You have to keep an open mind. Okay, so let's see what confirmation cards come up. We have the Page of Swords, Temperance, Six of Cups, and Justice. So yeah, something, to me, the Justice card represents kind of balance, something being out of balance. It could even represent that someone is kind of being the underdog in your relationship. You know, and I saw that all over the spread. I've already talked about it over and over. I feel like somebody's feeling unhappy and kind of left out. Justice is saying that somebody's being the underdog and something needs to be brought back into balance. Not only that, but you have the Page of Swords. To me, this card represents communication. Obviously, all the pages represent communication, but it represents honest communication, which really resonates with this message of the Ace of Swords. I feel like this is a strong message for you. I mean, seeing it here and in the same energy over here in the Ace of Swords, I feel like you need to be honest with your partner, especially if you're feeling this sense of disconnection or feeling like, you know, you're starting to change your mind about the relationship. You might even have other reasons that I've not mentioned in this reading. But I feel like here, either you are being completely honest with your partner if you're feeling unhappy, or there's just kind of question marks, like you don't really know where you stand or you have concerns. This is being completely honest. But I'm even getting that someone, you know, your partner may be honest with you. And like I said, hard to tell because it's a general reading. I feel like somebody needs some space. And I mean, you have this message here from Temperance, a major arcana, telling you to take it with a grain of salt. Temperance is a message to not do anything crazy, don't do anything extreme. Take a deep breath and calm down. So I feel like, you know, somebody, you know, like you want to, I don't know, I feel like the message of not doing anything extreme is possibly like leaving the relationship. Because I do see that down here with the Eight of Cups. You know, obviously this is the most extreme position you could take, is like, you know, I'm out of here. And then this is kind of telling you, you know, hold yourself back. Like, don't do anything crazy until you have all the facts. Remember that there will be a sense of clarity in November. You also have the Six of Cups. So this represents the past, and it could be, you know, that past issues or something from the past comes up. It could be something that's communicated to you about the past that creates some of the conflict here. Or it could be that there's a lot of kind of baggage in your relationship. I feel like there has to be communication. There has to be communication with your partner in November. I feel like, you know, you might make the wrong decision as far as like leaving. Now, for those who are single, again, you know, I feel like the Justice card for you represents kind of bringing yourself back into balance. And I got that from the Four of Swords, obviously the Ace of Swords. If you're not ready to date, don't push yourself. I feel like your karma is, you know, working itself out. Sometimes justice represents karma, but it represents, you know, just kind of the universe setting things right for you. So it could be a relationship in the making. The Page of Swords, the same thing, you know, that I told the couples. It represents truth, seeing the truth behind your situation. You know, are you ready to date, and if not, why? So obviously for you, you could be working out some issue from the past. There could even be someone that you're communicating with from the past, perhaps the person that created, you know, this unhappiness in your life, you know, that perhaps this is the reason that you're single. And I feel like, you know, this is kind of telling you to stay calm and collected. Don't do anything crazy. You know, keep a sense of peace in your life, because I feel like for those who are single, there's someone very close to you, someone around you that is a significant connection. I mean, just right here, I feel like this row right here is like so significant for both singles and couples. There is a strong, committed relationship, life partner material, but there is like this energy of like, you know, space between you. Like I said, for those who are already coupled, it's like somebody might need some time to figure things out, but you still have a solid connection. For those who are single, you may need some time to heal, and I see that all over this reading, but still, you still have that significant relationship around you. Okay, Gemini, I will end the reading here. I hope you enjoyed it. Much love and bless.